Staff, can you please proceed with the roll call?
Sherry Henson,
Susan Henson? Here.
Vice Chair Fung,
Present.
Commissioner Carter,
Here.
Commissioner Pat Gonkar, Commissioner Yang. Here. All present.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to approval of the minutes. We'll start with item 1. So approval of the July 17th Sustainability Commission minutes. Can you pull up the minutes, please?
They're on the screen.
You want a couple seconds? Do we have a motion to approve the minutes as written?
I do. I put up the motion to approve.
Is that too fast again? Okay, do you want to take a second to look at the minutes?
You did great.
Okay.
I reread them.
I read them last night, so. Okay. Can we proceed with the roll call vote?
Is there a second? Okay.
It was a quiet second. The room's too big.
Sherry Henson,
Yes.
Vice Chair Fung,
Yes.
Commissioner Carter,
Yes.
Commissioner Pat Gonkar, Commissioner Yang.
Yes.
The motion carries unanimously.
Okay, great. Okay, well, let's move on to postponements. Do we have any postponements?
No postponements.
Okay. Can we move on to oral communications?
Yes.
All right. So this is the portion of the meeting that's reserved for people that wish to address the commission on any matter within the jurisdiction of the commission, and not on the agenda. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Victoria, are there any attendees waiting to make comments?
Yes. Now is your opportunity.
Okay, I'm gonna turn our two.
Yeah, go ahead and hand the speaker card. I do have a timer on the screen.
Molly, do you want to?
Oh.
Do you want to sit forward?
Thank you.
I have this. I can mirror it for it somewhere.
Okay, great. Go ahead when you're ready.
Great. All right, yeah, so my name is Owen. I'm a senior at Bethel High School. Thank you guys so much for having me. And I'm here to talk about my environmental app called Living Footprints. So I was inspired to create this app after taking AP Environmental Science, where I learned how simple habits have hidden environmental costs. And despite the awareness that I gained from learning how daily actions impact the environment, I realized that many others didn't have this awareness. And so I wanted to create an engaging, accessible tool that connects people's daily routines to measured environmental effects. And so to get into how Living Footprint works, it was built in Unity, which is a game development tool, and it's designed to be a very interactive and game-like experience. And so viewers walk through living spaces like a house or an apartment, and they use WASD keys to move around, and it's a first-person perspective. And they interact with various household objects like a laundry machine or a fridge. And once they do, they're taken to a scene where they learn both visually and textually about environmental concepts and how that links back to the household impacts that they make or the household actions they make. A couple of environmental concepts covered phantom load, which is energy wasted through idle appliances, food contamination and recycling, water usage through native versus non-native plants, and deciduous trees as temperature regulators. So these are just a couple, but I think there's around 12 to 15 environmental concepts that I cover in this app. And I added features like task lists and sound effects to maximize engagement and make this game-like experience instead of kind of an educational chore that kind of forces people to play. So it's fun and easy to use, and it also teaches practical lessons about sustainability. It makes sustainability approachable for families and students, showing that small actions really do add up. And so right now, this app is freely available to download online. I've been sharing it with local libraries and community centers to encourage public use. One quick note is that this app can only be used on computers and not mobile devices. So about collaboration and partnerships, I would love to collaborate with the city of Sunnyvale to help share this resource with residents or schools. I think this tool could very well complement the city's ongoing sustainability efforts, whether it be through community education, youth engagement initiatives, or other opportunities. I'm also willing to work together to pilot this app. So adding in additional environmental concepts or information specifically related to Sunnyvale and its environmental challenges. And so if you're interested, I'd be very happy to send a download link, a download video, or an e-flyer, which is this one right here. And I also have business cards in my pocket so I can provide you guys with my contact information. So yeah, thank you guys so much for everything you do to make our community more sustainable. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I believe we have a second speaker. Go ahead when you're ready.
Hi, thanks for this opportunity. My name is Gautam. I'm a senior at Cupertino High School, and I'm passionate about the environment and computer science. So I developed an app to apply my computer science skills to try and address this problem in a way that I saw was possible. So I created an app. It's called Green Store. You can scan the QR code, download it in the Apple App Store. It's a mobile app, and basically the purpose of it is to help people track their positive impact on the environment. And hopefully that will motivate people. They're able to track their impact as they go and see their progress. So the app it allows you to track action ranging from eating plant-based meals to installing solar panels in your house to even raising awareness and doing more community-driven actions outside of your individual habits. So yeah, and then there's social features within the app, like make friends. And you can create challenges with your friends to motivate each other. You can set goals for yourself. There's also resources to learn more about how to help the environment in general. So I have these handouts sort of a little more than what's on this image. But
Yeah.
just pass it around. Big one. Got some screenshots of the app. Yes, you can see on there. The actions. So, yeah, I would love to work with
I'll share.
you know, to help spread this this app within our community and help promote it. So yeah. All right.
Please. Took a picture of your flyer. Can I pass it back to you? Because they
Yeah, sure.
feel very expensive. Yeah.
Printing looks very nice, so.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any more public comments?
We have no speakers on Zoom, Chair.
Okay, so I now close the public comment period. Okay, can we move on to written communications?
No written communications.
Okay, so can we move on to staff and commission reports?
Great. Are there any commission reports? Start.
Do you guys have anything? Talk about,
I know Jack and we went to that summit a while back, the youth summit.
So, that was a while back.
Yeah. That was months ago, yeah.
I mean, Cupertino was mentioned quite a few times in the meetings I was in, because there was a lot of breakout meetings. So we weren't always in the same room. But Cupertino was mentioned multiple times as being one of the leaders in sustainability.
yeah, for sure.
And there's a lot of enthusiasm in the young folks. I was pretty amazed at the maturity. Yeah.
Yeah, I was quite encouraged by, seeing how passionate the high school students are. But we even encourage them to attend some of our commission meetings. I think that group used to send a representative, I think, a while back to attend these meetings. So it would just be great for the students to just sit in the back and give comments to them. So, but yeah, it was a very nice engagement opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Anyone else? Did you attend any of the meetings that we talked about?
I attended the bike fest.
Okay. How did that go?
It was fun.
Did you-
Bike fest, yeah. So few suggestions I have is one is the name was not like very, not very like on the display. People cannot see the name of the department. That was one thing, and then the second thing was we ran out of paper.
Right at the end,
Yeah.
I heard that.
So I don't know what we can do for that, but a lot of kids are disappointed. They like the badges.
Mhm.
Also, like, I was not sure like what we are trying to communicate. We tried to tell people, but like for the other stuff I had like so many directors, right? So I was trying to. But December it was fun. I mean, I had fun. Kids had fun doing it, so.
Great.
There's a recycling and waste reduction committee next Wednesday, so I'll try to attend that if they don't cancel it. Again, so.
We had the, which is the fair with the VR, but I was mostly sucking people in to do the VR, but you were more involved with their experience of doing the virtual reality.
Jack attended Fall Festival and represented at the booth at Fall Festival.
I need a translator. That's very good.
He was playing with the VR. Okay. Did you try the VR?
No, it did, I mean, it was being used. Right?
Yeah, we had a lot of participants.
Yeah, I was pretty good at it, at sucking, I mean, buskering, right? Getting people to come in and, use it, then,
You did a great job.
yeah.
Yep.
Have a
But-
line.
I heard great things about the Bike Fest too. Both of you did a good job. Thank you for representing this year.
Fun.
I'm super bummed because I was supposed to go to Bike Fest, but I got accepted into something called Splash. It's through Santa Clara County Office of Ed. And we're developing an education program to use waterways as a base. You know, I've been using climate change, but I thought, what the heck? So I was in Santa Cruz that day and doing the workshop. So it's like 10 sessions this year. So anyway, okay.
Oh, sorry, one more thing. I'm just curious. Did they ever get that economic development committee started?
I have not heard anything about that. I mean, they keep trying to find filling up the slots. I don't know if they've ever filled up enough slots.
I know they voted.
Yeah, at the last council meeting, they were finalizing who was gonna be on it, so it's
Oh, okay.
Councilmember Wong and Councilmember Moore, I believe, or no, or the mayor. I know, I can't remember, but two council members and then they approved you guys being on it and the other commission, I think, right, as a representative.
Yeah.
About community members.
Well, nothing on there.
But I don't
Just have planning, but the 4 represented sectors, I believe, we're still searching for people. At this time, we don't have a date of when it's starting. We'll let you know. So once it does.
I was just curious, but thank you. Yeah.
In process.
Yeah, I'll probably meet at Christmas.
In 2 more months.
We have a few staff reports.
Okay, I just have one more.
Okay,
I
go.
went to the mayor's meeting and it was very interesting. She had a tea festival for tea service for Moon Festival. So we basically ate mooncake and tea and it was not the same format. We didn't even give our reports. So it was very different. Anyway, so she's taking it another way.
Okay.
Okay, now go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah.
Full business then. Right?
Staff updates.
Sorry.
You all are aware, and most of you are signed up for the Crest Award dinner on the 29th. I'm excited. I'll see you there. Let me know if you have any questions, and thank you all for submitting your answers to their questions. It should be a fun evening. Our next,
Sorry, real quick.
yeah.
What's the attire for now?
Oh, that's a great question.
Is cash.
I think it's pretty casual. Yeah.
It's not like formal.
Semi?
Yeah,
Or just-
The biz cash is, okay.
Yeah. There is a free home composting workshop on Saturday, October 25th. Does that sound right? Yes.
It's just be fabulous.
And a paper shredding event on November 15th. And then our coat drive collection will start the week after Thanksgiving.
What drive?
The coat drive collection. So this is in partnership with Recology. It happens in that the library, we have a bin and collect warm coats that are then donated. Okay, Ursula?
I just have a few quick things. Single-use plastics, we've been working on still doing outreach to the businesses, but we're heading in the direction of enforcement, so we may be out by early next year, early 2026. We may start issuing notices of violation. So we are continuing our slow, gentle work on that. And then after June, when council approved our new post-collection agreement, the start date for C&D going to a new facility is November 21st, so we're just talking about that facility today, getting ready for that change. So that'll be way more diversion. C&D, so that's exciting. And then last is, as you know, we have a stormwater pollution prevention permit. And they re-up every 5 years or so. So it's now time to kick off talking about it. So it's still, we're only in year 3 or something right now.
Which
Stormwater pollution prevention.
stormwater, okay.
Permit, yeah, so it's called the municipal regional permit for short. Long thing, but we're in MRP 3.0 right now, so 4.0 kickoff is starting in a couple weeks, so. Myself and another staff member are gonna go participate at a meeting in Oakland. And to see kind of what the water board's thinking of in terms of. There tends to be a focus each time around.
So will we get a report earlier than 3 months from now?
Report.
Well, I don't, so that we're a little bit more educated.
It's, I mean, this MRP thing is a very slow moving thing and it won't even go into effect for another 1.5 years or something.
Okay.
There won't be much to report in 3
Okay,
months, I guess.
okay,
That's
Okay. It's wondering if there's something gonna hit us. So
No, it's a long, gentle policy thing. Yeah.
So what does it mean by permit?
I'm sorry, what does it mean with what?
Permit.
Permit.
Permit. It's a permit that all jurisdictions in the Bay Area are under to prevent pollution to the stormwater system and to the creeks in the bay. We all are in the same watershed. And so we're under a permit together. And there are 21, 22 sections, different things we have to do. And so they're reissuing.
Those are the spray painted things that say this flows to the bay.
Right.
And the things that we did at the last meeting to scoop the stuff out or whatever, the exit water.
That's part, I mean, that's a very small part of it, those signs
Yeah.
to try to tell people not to dump are part of it, but there, like I said, 22 other sections that were
yeah, but
cover all nature of
the
things.
screens are not so much for pollution, they're from preventing them to get clogged up. The pollution,
We
I'm
even
gonna-
consider, yeah, it's, yeah. we
We're
don't wanna
going into
discuss.
conversation.
Sorry, okay, sorry.
Anyway, new MRT coming.
All right. Thank you. Okay,
Anyone like my contact card for app or?
Oh, that would be great.
Everyone wants it. Yeah, I'll just leave.
just leave one and we'll take,
Okay, I'll just leave it on.
we'll take a picture that way you don't have to waste it.
Oh, we can, alright,
Yeah, we'll share.
You can put, yeah, you can put like 2.
sure, I'll just put you.
And then
We're collaborative. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming. All right. Okay. Are there any more reports?
No,
that's it. Okay, so we can move on to old business.
There's no old business.
Okay. Let's move on to new business then.
Okay. We have some presentations. Oh, sorry, this bar is in the way. There we go. Where's my play button? Okay. Bear with me as we're going to go through a lot of legislation and there's no pictures. So today we are going to talk about different categories for state legislation and how they fit together and how they affect Cupertino specifically. Most of these that I will talk about today are mentioned in our climate action plans. So just giving you an update on how they're going, if they're going. So AB 32 was adopted in 2006. This gives California Air and Resource Board, CARB, authority to design and implement and enforce regulation to reach a greenhouse gas emission standard. That is a work in progress. It's just giving authority. So that is a state level. The state is doing stuff. And then there's a lot of downstream laws, which we'll get into more and more. But SB 32, right, that says that we're going to reach 40% below by 2030. And then they just adopted 1279, which says net zero by 2045. Those two things are mentioned in our climate action plan. Anything with a little asterisk at the end of the bullet point is mentioned in our climate action plan. So going in, we are still in advance and more progressive than the state's climate goals. And then 100% clean electricity is talking about the people who are procuring and generating electricity. You may have heard that California has more solar power now than any other state. So we're doing great on advancing that goal. And then AB 35 and 1383 I'll talk about in just a second. So these are planning laws that have already been in effect now. The greenhouse gas planning, SB 35, that one's basically the one that says that we need an environmental sector to our general plan and a climate action plan that offers CEQA incentives. So we've completed that a number of years ago. The next one down, the Water Conservation and Landscaping Act, you may be more familiar with the term WELO, Water Efficient Landscape Ordinance. So this is something that's been in our planning code for a long time now. It applies to new landscapes and saying that they must be water efficient. They're getting more and more restrictive. So we're staying on top of those updates and making sure that our landscaping is drought tolerant whenever new construction happens. Moving right along, building energy benchmarking. So AB 802, we talked about this when we talked about commercial energy and building performance standards. So this is something that I work on every year that reports municipal buildings over 50,000 square feet to report consumption normally to the state. That's both our electricity, gas, and water to say how efficient our buildings are. The only municipal building in Cupertino that qualifies is the library. However, we do report on all of our municipal buildings and are doing okay. Right, this is the one that you guys voted to try to or advise city council to adopt an energy benchmark locally. So we haven't gotten that far, but we are complying with the state's law. The CalGreen update, we are going to take this CalGreen update. This is a 3-year update that happens at the state level. This is going to go to council November 4th and with saying, you know, we have to comply with state law. Here's all of the new restrictions. So 2025 building code compared to 2022 building code, it does increase the EV ready EV chargers and EV charger ready percentages for non-residential.
What does that mean?
So what's the difference between EV ready and EV chargers? Well, let's get into questions in a second. Sorry, write it down.
What is EV ready?
Write it down so you don't forget. We'll answer it during questions section.
Okay.
Okay. So we're getting more progressive with our CalGreen update. It has a wrench because it's a work in progress. It should be adopted very soon. And then a frowny face that we are compliant with AB 130. It did pass, which means that we have to freeze residential building codes updates, and that limits, there's some exemptions on what we can update in that building code, which is all related to energy efficiency and trying to progress existing residential building code. Right, so there's freezes on any of those updates until 2031. There may be some wiggle room for exemptions in that we could try to pursue in the future. All right, moving right along. So Advanced Clean Fleet is exactly what it sounds like, that they are requiring all municipal and commercial fleets to go electric. This is a tiered scaling. The number of vehicles that we purchase every year as a jurisdiction has to be electric. And we have done a lot of assessment that's been funded by Silicon Valley Clean Energy and working with Optany and getting PG&E has approved our 95% rate for installing new chargers at the service center. So we're installing 10 new chargers and then another 10 that are EV ready. So we'll have the plugs ready to go, and that way in 10 years from now, we can just plug in all of the wiring will be ready. So we can just buy the charger itself. And this should hopefully satisfy our requirements for the city once we'll transition all of our vehicles to electric that can be transitioned. So there's some exemptions for like street sweepers and bigger vehicles that don't have a great electric alternative yet. EV charger permit review times and streamlining. This is also in our climate action plan that we've satisfied. Basically, it's saying that we have to allow people to get a EV charger over the counter. So if someone walks in and says, I want an EV charger in my house or commercial building, there's a streamlined checklist. They don't have to go through the whole application process and wait for it to get approved, that we offer them over the counter within a reasonable amount of time. So we're great at doing those building permit reviews. Waste, hopefully you are all familiar with SB 1383 at this point. So diverting organics and edible food. Before that, there was 341, which required multifamily and commercial to have a recycling container, but 1383 requires them to use their recycling and organics container. And then the last one on this list is has a clock next to it because we're waiting for more direction on what this looks like from the state. But plastics and packaging extended producer responsibility, meaning that by 2032, plastic producers, container producers must make packaging recyclable or compostable with stricter labeling. There's a lot of general confusion from the public on if it has the arrows 1 through 9, that obviously means it's recyclable, when in reality, those numbers don't translate to actually recyclable. So that should be coming out with more direction on how that affects us, but it will have some impact on our foodware ordinance. We don't have producers within the city boundary, so getting more direction on that. AB 1572 just passed. So this is a ban on watering non-functional turf. So grass that is not used for parks or recreational activity. And cities have to stop watering all of these spaces by January 1st, 2027. So very soon. So we're working hard on identifying that. And then we're also waiting on direction on how we report to the state on that. A lot of this reporting may happen through SJ Water and Cal Water, that they have to report directly to the state instead of the city, but we will probably work with them in partnership on enforcement and those sorts of regulations for commercial and multifamily properties.
What is HO?
Write it down, homeowners association. Emergency resilience. So these are pretty general emergency resilience, climate ready, safety elements. So this was adopted a while ago that we have to have this risk assessment and safety element and part of our general plan. And then we're working on the Fire Safe Council's working on a wildfire risk reduction strategy and funds to help prevent wildfires. And then I just wanted to touch on some federal really quick. There's the Clean Water Act, which is what regulates our stormwater. So this Clean Water Act basically gave authority to the California Water Board and regional water boards to put restrictions on. And that's what Ursula was talking about with the permit. So they give us an allowance of how polluted our water can be. And so we have to comply with going under that pollution level and monitoring and reporting what pollutants are going into our waterways and showing that we're doing our due diligence to enforce non-pollution. So there's not really state laws for stormwater, but there is federal laws and they're still in effect. And as far as we know right now, this one's not being challenged. The Clean Air Act definitely has some speculation and it is being challenged a little bit right now. This is essentially the same thing as the Clean Water Act, but now we're regulating cleanliness of air. It's not greenhouse gas regulations, right? But it's like soot and dirt. This is where the spare the air days can come from, right? So regulating the actual like heavy not pollutants, but dust in the air. And that's what created California Air and Resource Board and the Air Quality Districts. So we're under Bay Area Air Quality Management District. And unfortunately, the Inflation Reduction Act, which was US climate spending, has gone away. This is one of the major changes from federal that we saw. We were going to get funding for new EV chargers in the city, and those grant funds went away pretty quickly. That was one of the first things to go. So we don't have any questions or follow-ups for you right now, but if you want to have a discussion, it's which policies stood out to you. But I'm happy to answer any questions. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, I think you already answered the EV ready. The electrical has to be there, but not necessarily the charger.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, non-potable watering,
Recycled water.
recycled water.
Yeah.
That had to do with, that ties into what we discovered we can't do because it's prohibited in expense for the gray water, correct?
Correct.
So we just basically say no.
Right now, there's no California laws that require us to have recycled water.
Well, if you said that if you went back on the slides and you talked about the government lawns and whatever,
Oh,
The watering of grass,
yes.
right?
And then mention government as well as other HOAs and private property.
That they're gonna have to stop watering their
So we
grass.
have grass out there.
Uh-huh,
Okay, so if it's non-potable,
right.
then what is it? I mean, it's not gray water, then you're not.
Recycled water would be allowed to water grass, yeah,
But we can't get the recycled water.
correct.
Okay, so my question is, are we just saying, no, we're not gonna do it?
At this time, yeah, it's been proven to not be economically feasible for the city. Right, that was the report that went out about a year ago, the engineering study.
So we're going to say no.
That has been the direction this year, yes,
Okay,
yes.
want to make sure that,
Yeah, but so the alternative, so you cannot water at all, or you can water with non-portable water. So we're just going to say we're gonna stop watering, and the idea is to switch. You can water drought tolerant landscaping, you can still have landscaping.
that green stuff is all gonna go away.
This is functional turf, so this would be used for picnics and people playing.
Okay, so what
Yeah,
I didn't get what,
non-functional meant.
yeah,
Yeah, so functional versus non-functional recreation, soccer fields, cricket fields, all of our parks will stay parks.
okay.
It's like park strips if you had grass in the middle of your road.
Oh, okay, and those places were
Decorative.
already putting drought tolerance.
Yeah.
Okay,
Decorative.
that was,
Yeah,
that was.
that's a good question.
Is this for commercial or residential?
Commercial and multifamily
Government.
and government. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So for the 341, right?
Okay. What about 341?
So it says, can you?
Yeah. My computer wants to respond. That one was a while ago now that it required every commercial and multifamily property to have a recycling container.
So, we have the people who make sure that that happens, right? Like.
Yeah,
Every time when I do the outreach everywhere, like this time also two people came up to me. And they said that they live in an apartment complex and they don't have very good way to recycle. So are we doing something about it?
yes, we have confirmed that every apartment complex at this point definitely has recycling and all of them should have organics. It's hard for the people in apartments specifically because sometimes they only have one organics container because that is appropriate for the size of their apartment complex, but they might have 2 or 3 trash containers, so they don't walk over and find it. Has been the biggest struggle with residents is that they don't take the time to actually look for it, but they do have one.
So is there any outreach we have done about that, like? Try to reach them because now looks like the way we are going in Cupertino. We are going to have more and more apartments.
Yeah.
Because there is no space.
Yeah.
They're building on Stevens Creek now.
So we are working on an outreach plan specifically for multifamily and to build those relationships with the property managers. Right now, Recology and as well as our waste person at the city do go out and do boots on the ground work pretty much every day. And we're talking with all the businesses in the multifamily, and it's on the multifamily owner, the property owner, to have correct signage and to inform their residents
So do we,
annually.
like have a fine or something?
Yes, yeah, we do have a fine. And our first fine went out this week. So it is now per 1383, we had to start enforcement this year,
Last year.
last year. And so now they have gotten several warnings at this point and we have progressed into fines. So there is an enforcement plan that is being executed.
Are we able to know who we got? What from?
I don't know that detail. I don't know if that's public information.
Yeah, I don't know. I know who it is, but I don't know if I'm allowed to see it.
The learning of recycling and especially the green waste, just like that, it's gonna take multiple years.
Side eye was one.
Yeah, I was planning to get my recycling box this time.
Yeah.
Last few, was ordered. And then I thought, of, I mean, next time now I have to.
Okay,
Okay.
I got one more. I don't know if you know the answers, and thanks for the presentation, by the way, this is great. Do you foresee any federal policies that may override some of these existing state policies?
No, I think if the Clean Air and Clean Water Acts go away, those could be challenged, saying, because those are saying the states have the right to regulate these things. But having that revoked and then having new federal enforcement come and saying, no, the states don't have the right, like it would have to pivot 180, which anything is possible right now. But then it would have to trickle down from the state to then say, stop all these operations, disband all of these organizations. You know, that would be a huge. California Air and Resource Board doesn't exist. The Water Board wouldn't exist.
Just not the purview of the state though.
Right. Well, that's what these clean air and water and acts say, is that it's the purview of the state. So if those acts could get challenged and say, no, it's for whatever reason, they found ruling that the state couldn't regulate it. Yeah, any of these acts can be undone.
Well, I'm sure there will still be lawsuits nonetheless.
Great.
On both sides. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it, thank you.
any other questions?
Just a quick one. The grant that was, the US climate one,
Mhm.
how much did that impact City of Cupertino or the neighboring?
We were in a group effort when we applied for that grant. Ursula can speak more into the details of it. But it was several jurisdictions that came together and said, hey, we want to do EV charger network regionally. I want to say we were gonna get,
It was around $500,000 worth of charging.
yeah,
It was our portion for our like. The numerous districts.
Cupertino.
Oh, just.
Yeah.
There were, it was SVC in San Jose and some other cities and us, and our little portion of it was. And it got awarded, but then funded.
Okay. All right, any other questions? Any members of the public that wish to speak?
We have no speakers in person and no speakers remotely, Chair.
Okay. We don't need to make a motion, so we going down to number 2.
Is there open discussion on which ones you find most interesting, or do you want to discuss? You don't have to. There's no motion, so.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to item number 2.
3.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Alrighty. So, we did a waste characterization study last year, and so, we did it because the CAP tells us to do it every so often, and it had been since 2018-19 that we did the last one. So it allows us to, see how we're doing, see what we might want to change. Next one. And what is that exactly? So this image, I thought I would just throw this in there. Like you have an idea of what a waste characterization might be. This is what it looks like in real life. It's a bunch of people in Tyvek suits and with laundry baskets doing extreme weighing of things. It's kind of what it looks like in real life. Next one. And so for single family, they might grab cart contents and tarp them. It's all anonymized, so they're just dumping in a tarp, taking away, and then taking it somewhere so they can spread it all out and sort it. Next one. And the multifamily and commercial, they might follow a truck back to the sorting location, dump the whole load and take a scoop, like a representational scoop, and then do the extreme sorting and dividing from there. And so we asked them to look at all 3 streams, garbage, recycling, and organics. They got 211 samples from 4 sectors because we wanted them to look at municipal garbage as well as single family, multifamily, and commercial. And we had 63 different material types that we identified for them to sort into. And the methodology is intended to have a 90% confidence level. Next slide. So, comparability groups that we settled on were, something is recyclable, something is a contaminated recyclable, and that could be either actually, organics or traditional recycling, that was contaminated. And then compostable, obviously, if it was compostable, and then potentially recoverable was actually something you should have taken to, say, HHW event or some other, paint or something you should have taken somewhere else, not put in your trash, and couldn't be recycled through the curbside program. And then non-recoverable would be what's actually supposed to go in your garbage. So next one. So just to give an idea of how many tons we generate in a year, we're around 42,000 tons of all the materials from all the sectors. And you can see how municipal is so tiny that its little bars don't even show up. We're a very tiny amount of the overall stuff generated, and commercial produces the most trash, but multifamily sends the largest proportion of their material to the trash. So, and just to keep in mind, this was just all on regular accounts and not debris boxes or construction. And then next slide. Some of the metrics they looked at were the recoverability. So things that could have been recovered if they were placed in the right stream or properly prepared. Contamination, obviously, just put in the wrong place. Capture rate overall, how much of
the recyclable material that was generated actually was captured properly. So yeah, those are those. Next slide. Just to give an idea, this is just a snip of the material types. You don't have to absorb this, just letting you know kind of all the different ways we divvied up the materials. And then next slide is launching into kind of what we found. So at a high level, what was in the garbage? These colors are fairly self key, but the green one is organic. So we're seeing whether you're single family, multifamily, commercial, municipal, we're all terrible at keeping the organics out of the garbage. This is sort of what we learned from this. The brown is really what should only be in the garbage. And you know, orange, maybe if you cleaned it out right or something and moved it, could have recovered it. I mean, those are actually the take backs, yeah, those should have been taken back. And the light blue is the contaminated recyclable. So we're seeing a lot of, obviously over 60% of stuff really shouldn't be there at all. Next slide. And then diving in a little bit deeper on single family, on what was in the garbage. Here we're just seeing it broken out in a different way. And next one is the top items that we found. It was kind of clear from the bars, but food and paper towels, tissue papers, those were top of the list. Then we had a lot of paper and you can see plastic takeout containers that could have been recycled are in there, the bottom, and other compostable paper. Next slide. The recycling is about 30% contaminated across the board, so no one's doing super awesome at that either. Again, you see our same little categories. So definitely room for improvement there. But it's interesting to me that across the categories we do pretty similar here. And the next slide. You just see that in a slightly different way. So yeah, all that stuff that was contaminated or food or shouldn't have been in there at all or just was straight up trash. I'm going up on there. Next slide. Other composite materials and fines are often multi-material composite or items not elsewhere identified, sort of a miscellaneous catch-all. Definitely some loose film. Composite things where multiple things are squished together. Those are always confusing. Well, next slide. Moving on to organics. Single family actually does really well at organics because it's mostly yard waste, right? So that's going to be the bulk of the tons. So we see multifamily doing pretty well. This the non-recoverable material for commercial, that's just basically trash ending up in the green bin instead of food or food soiled paper. And then next one. Yeah, just different way to look at it. And next one. This was, we asked them to kind of look back and see how it compared. So single family doing about the same as they were. We did see a nice bump in multifamily and commercial in terms of proper items getting into the recyclables bin. So you never know if that was just this is a snap in time, one 2 week period, but it could indicate improved understanding of recycling. Next one. This was the one I was super jazzed about to check on because of SB 1383. So this is, we've been working away at SB 1383 since 2022. Are we making any progress? Are we getting more of the compostable material out of the garbage and into the green? And for single family, we did see a little shift. We saw a similar shift in, disposed and the garbage went down and put in the green went up a bit. So I was happy to see that little nudge. I mean, obviously from months earlier, what's still in the garbage.
Yeah.
We still have quite a ways to go on that, but that's why we're happy that council approved going to the smart station because then we have a chance to get some of that back out again. Amen. Excited about that. So some of the top problem materials and these are obviously compostables in the garbage. Multifamily is just that they have a hard time sorting. When we go to conferences, every multifamily everywhere in all cities all the time, all have hard time sorting, so no one has solved that. It's not that we're just not putting the right sign up or something.
Recycle bin.
You get in. And then a lot of stuff that shouldn't be recycled, people try to recycle. You can see someone just chucked a whole microwave into one of the streams. Plastics in the organics is a problem. You know, you can imagine the bag lettuce went around and didn't want to take it out of its plastic bag, that kind of thing. In commercial, we see gloves end up a lot in the most. Next slide. Foodware is interested, what's happening with all the takeout containers, so. We're correctly sorting some of the plastic ones. And commercials. Not doing great with plastic takeout containers. We're all doing a little bit better with cups, or commercial is anyway. So, the amount of data is really impressive that they give us, so this is still a work in progress to really digest a little bit, but go to the next slide. I was just curious, well, how many tons are we talking about? So we're seeing from their estimates, 199 tons of paper, 442 of plastic. Pickup containers going into all the different commercial single family homes.
Yeah.
And then I added up how much plastic per year and how does it compare to last time around. So we have more plastic. And 40, it's interesting, we did this whole, we'll see it on the next slide, but yeah, about 47% is potentially recyclable. So of all the plastic, only about half of it is actually something that could be recycled. And of that, only 30% is getting recycled. So that gives you kind of a drawdown on that. And then next slide, this was a graphic that Tori worked on a lot in 2022. And we had a lot of fun going back and forth and trying to tell the story of plastics. This helped us when we were passing the single-use plastics ordinance. And doing a lot of outreach about plastics. So this shows up the world of plastic things generated in the city. About half are these things you just can't recycle. Cup lids and styrofoam and
Compostable plastic.
compostable plastics, toothpaste tubes, weird squishy whatever. And then there are always some that are not prepared properly, dirty, whatever, and
So
then
after our ordinance, the takeout unit that we did. The takeout.
yeah.
Did we see anything? Should have walked out from the prison.
Yeah, I mean, we were trying to see if, that's why I was looking at how much plastic, it's hard to tell, right? I mean. When we're in the middle of a metropolis. People are bringing food from everywhere all around, so it's very hard to. Pinpoint, are we gonna see a shift? And then the other thing is. This is tonnage and those are very light materials, so it's harder to drill down on those, but I wanted to show this graphic again, just so it does well, the 50-50. About half of all plastic is recyclable, and then we do on actually getting all of that in somewhere. And this is my favorite sorting picture of all time from doing wood flips, and it seemed like a good time of year to trot it out as the last one, so. It is okay to put your pumpkin in your green cart, so.
Nobody looks sad.
Party's over for him, right? Getting in line. So anyway, that's,
Very nice.
like I said, we're still exploring that, and we can do more deep diving and try to parse it in different ways and look at it, but. Pages and pages. Yes.
Go back to the plastic one. Okay. From perspective of someone who lives in this world. We should, to me, plastics are totally confusing, and I think we brought it up earlier about what things, the labeling is not correct and whatever. It would make more sense to me if we had a tote that said plastic. We're not asking what type of plastic, say plastic. Let them be sorted somewhere else.
That kind of already
Saying-
happened.
okay, that's- Well, it's sort of, but it's sort of, no, it's because some of it is garbage and you're struggling with it. Dirty. How much water do I waste to try to clean that piece of plastic?
Wipe it out.
Sometimes not. We just basically say clean and dry is what it says on the truck.
Yeah.
And as I'm going, and I see that as a composter, I look at it and say, yeah, buddy, in your dreams, because I want to move,
Well, you're probably doing fine. A lot of people are throwing away.
I'm not doing,
bottles half
I'm not
full.
doing fine. I have no idea how to, I mean, half my stuff is probably put in the wrong, I mean, we. Yeah,
A lot of people have the will to do it. Like lot of people tell us that they want to do the right thing. But the problem is they don't know what is the right
If they could just empty the containers, that would be like 90% there. Then you get them in the blue cart, then green waste is.
Well, but the blue cart there's non-recyclable. I mean, how do I know in terms of plastic? I mean, basically, to me, that decision should either be at the not produce those things or B, have them being sorted at the sorting thing.
That goes
I'm
right
just-
back to SB 54 that Tori talked about, which is anything that's packaged and sold in California is going to have to be in packaging that is either officially compostable or recyclable.
Well, this is a domestic problem I have at home. Some people in our family want things to look pretty and hidden. I want things easy, simple, where I can just deal with it. Because if it's not real easy in things, no matter how much someone says they will deal with it, it doesn't get dealt with. And that's to me, our whole recycling and disposable thing should be mindless almost. And we're trying to make it more and more intellectual, which is not going to work.
Tori did put a description around the outside of the pie chart that explains what these things should be. There is a description. But again, we have to rely on people to read and do what's right.
Mm.
And that's really difficult to get people to do. But that's what think what Jack is saying, is that it has to be.
Plastics are the worst and most confusing. So SB 54 will help. It doesn't go,
Yeah.
the target is 2032, so that's only up. And then once we start sorting to the smart station, great, if you put it in the blue cart, green waste is gonna sort it and take what they can. Put it in the gray, the black cart, smart station is gonna sort it and take what they can. So you're gonna be kind of covered. It's gonna be kind of a belt and suspenders situation.
Well, yesterday I was at a commercial composting site and he was showing us his agricultural stuff made from agricultural stuff and the stuff from green waste. Green waste had dog poop bags in it and all sorts of other things in it. And it's like and I'm hearing this over and over on the composting side is this. I mean, you don't want to get stuff from our municipal composting thing because it's got glass and metal and plastic in it.
And a lot of people think that they buy this compostable stuff, right? And we say that they don't get composted. And it's the same rate as the other one. People need to know that they are paying more money to get that one. And what about those green bags that Safeway gives? Are those compostable?
They don't.
They're not.
I mean, it takes a special environment for them to decompose. And if they're normal,
That was a law, that compostable produce bags. That was a law that went into effect.
yeah,
Pretty awesome.
and I apologize
It's
for
not
that.
composted, then what's the point?
I want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to ask questions. We're still in questions.
Okay, does anybody else have a question?
Okay.
This person's interesting. Okay. Yeah, we're making comments, so.
That's fine.
Any more questions?
Well, my thing, so I live in multifamily, I live in an apartment here. And I remember when I was still doing sustainability, that was the toughest thing, is how do you reach the multifamilies? Because these are, a lot of the property management firms are out of town. But I'm like, I see it in my own compost bin, it's a bunch of random stuff in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like the outreach, as you all know, outreach to the property managers, and then have the property managers tell their tenants.
Outreach and filing. Sorry, I
Yeah,
mean, there has to be some financial.
But who do you
incentive.
find, the property manager who has no control over what their people do, or the people who,
Understand,
it's a tricky.
picture signage. So you don't have to read any words, but with few pictures, with few key pictures.
1383 already requires pictures and multi-language. So a lot of that's already in place.
I know, we have waste bins at school. We have two ones. They look the same to me. When I get in, it's kind of irritating. Okay. Should we move on? Okay, so, do we have any members of the public that wish to speak?
No.
Okay, I think we're done then, right? Can we go ahead and move on to, yes, Sonali? No, on to the next one. Can we move on to future agenda setting?
So I had, my friend in Massachusetts, they have this zero waste day. And I was wondering if we want one here. So we can discuss if we want to do the discussion. Victoria told me I can do it as a future agenda.
So, Sonali had expressed interest in, what is it called? A zero waste day at schools. Do you want
It's
to,
in the city, they have it in the city.
there's a city, so what is it exactly? If you want to describe what we would do as a commission and what the day is about.
So the day is about zero waste, meaning basically if you want to give away something, then it's like what do we have that we sell, right? Like so garbage. Garage sale, but it's not sale, basically just exchange stuff that we don't want.
It's like trade.
Yeah, it's basically like recycle, which is like, but it's just awareness.
And be gathered at a location, like the end of the.
We can do that we can decide how to want to do it.
So I'm not hearing your exact proposal. You want to bring an agenda item for the commissioners to discuss how to get involved in a zero waste event?
I mean, we can discuss how we can propose this to the city.
Okay,
City has to approve it.
yeah.
We can discuss how we want to go about it. And if there is any, anything that is good, that will come out of it or no?
I think we have to discuss it first before we decide to propose it though, right?
Right.
Correct. She's proposing it goes on a future agenda
To discuss.
to discuss.
Feasibility of doing a zero waste day.
Correct.
yeah, I like the idea of having an agenda item to just discuss that, maybe as a commission, we could do an event, or like the TIC commission, for example, they did a cybersecurity thing, that was. And a public safety commission, they do a forum every year. So I like the idea of talking about what we can do together.
You want to put it on the next agenda?
Do you want to put it on the next agenda? We need two commissioners to agree and someone has to give me some formal wording.
Okay, so we have a motion,
Some wording first.
some wording, okay?
Is it commission event discussion? Or, yeah, discussion of possibility of. My brain's not working right now, but somewhere along the lines of discussion of the commission getting involved and doing like an event or a panel, something like that.
Discuss the feasibility of considering the Sustainability Commission within.
Or it's like maybe just events evaluation, commission event
Or
evaluation.
event valuation or event, designing, or,
I don't think we're designing anything, because we have to discuss. Like, if we're gonna be doing an event or not. So,
I'm just thinking zero waste is gonna be different, right? Because you have to designate it and then you have to monitor it, right? If you're gonna do that, it's actually multi-layer. You can just declare it zero waste day, but then that's kind of pointless. Every day should be zero waste day, right?
well, if somebody comes up and says, okay, there's gonna be this event in a few months. And it looks like a great opportunity for us to do something. I'm trying to figure out what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
So if you,
I think Sonali was mentioning that it's like the commission getting involved in hosting or supporting an events or playing a key role in
It's
that
like,
event.
the rat sale day that city has, our city also has. Day when they do camping, like there is a camp out day, in July or August. Right. Yeah, so something similar to that,
Yeah.
which is like a.
But that's tangible. You take you take your tent and you go sleep under the stars. Zero waste is gonna be tricky, right? I mean, how do you even monitor?
So, but we will discuss it, and we are just doing like an agenda item to.
Yeah, I'm a little confused on your idea. If it's similar to a garage sale or people just bringing things to donate and then people come and pick them up. So it's like a swap day,
It's a buy nothing day.
a buy nothing day.
Basically, while you're saying zero waste is basically recycle and reuse.
Yeah, my question is, what's to stop people from making it a donation, drop my stuff off
a
day,
dump day,
a dump day?
I was just thinking, I like that idea. I have tons of stuff. I just,
So
Um,
you have to haul it off to.
yeah,
I mean, I'm open to just discussing it because I feel like we cannot discuss it under this agenda item right now.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
Let's,
So I can get some more information and I
and
can get.
okay.
we do have a citywide garage sale. And that is, at least at our house, that's considered, we're trying to get rid of stuff. We're not trying to make money. But people don't, if you just give it to them, they don't want it. But if you charge them a few bucks, it's a deal. And they haul it away. We do have that already.
So,
Is that in your
Yeah.
Yeah.
so we're discussing it now, so let's put it on the agenda for next time to discuss the ins and outs of doing something that would promote zero waste.
Okay, so right now it's discuss a possible sustainability commission event or panel. Do you want it to be specific to waste? Or my other
How about-
idea is to bring consumption? Okay. So my proposal of how that would look is each of you bring the idea of how an event could work. Right? So draw up your feasibility plan, who would be responsible for what's involved, how many hours you guys are willing to contribute to this type of thing, how it would work, and how the city could support you with it. So if you each come up with an idea, and then you want to talk about it and discuss the possibility of choosing one of the ideas. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, and if it is not possible, we can talk about that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But I think it is not worth it.
So who wants to move that, what I've written, discuss a possible sustainability commission event or panel about consumption?
Do we have a motion to add that to the agenda? Somebody want to propose a motion?
I can.
Head Guancar? And a second.
I'll second it.
Okay,
Great.
can we do a little call vote? Is that, do we just, okay.
Oh, wait, quick follow-up. What was the last event that the city of Cupertino approved? Like, the last new event that was proposed?
From a commission,
Yeah,
Tick just proposed a boba event that they got technology information something commission. TICC, communication.
Commission.
Yeah, I can remember.
Yeah. They got shops to donate boba and had people come and drink boba and talk about technology.
That's awesome. That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Okay,
they needed the city approval to do, oh, because it was the commission, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
because we're not going to consume anything, so.
We could invite him to a sporting event. We could do trash talking, right?
Whatever event or panel you want to bring to a meeting, that is totally okay. You can bring your own. Okay.
Okay, all right. Is there anything else under the new business?
We're all set.
Setting, sorry. Okay, so anything else? All right. Can I adjourn the meeting? Okay, this meeting is adjourned at 5:14.